Okay, my stream has started, so anything you say now can will be held against you in the future.
Fair enough.
You guys ready?
Insert generic female name.
Everybody ready? All right, here we go.
Yes,
Yeah, ready as we're gonna be.
Here's the intro. Alrighty then, guys. Guess who is back? This is the Destiny Community Destiny podcast of Three Stooges and a Guest, episode number 2. As always, I have with me BC,
At two Brute?
Selena,
Meow.
VA.
Yes, I know how to drive a stick.
Have to figure that out sometime. And our special guest this week is our good friend of the shows. It's our second week. Known him for a long time. It's Ginge all the way. Ginge, how are you doing?
not too bad, Shady. How about yourself?
Hanging in there, just doing the pod thing. Okay, let's get going. Last week we didn't have Discord or anything to have all of our faces on the same screen, so we just went into the tower and did emotes for a half hour doing the podcast, and we're doing the same thing again this week because we're in the same situation. But I do want to for the best emote of all 4 of us that were in there. So that was 16 different emotes, and the winner is BC and his weightlifting guy. That cracked me up to no end. Every time you hit that, I chuckled. Every time you hit that, I was like, "Oh my god, that is just perfect. That is just awesome."
Why, thank you.
Okay, speaking of BC, you are a resident interviewer. You're up.
I am. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here, Gingy. So I've got a couple of questions for you. Hopefully it's not too bad. Let's start off with just something general to let us know about yourself. Kind of what are your stats, like your gamer tag, your age, if you don't have a problem with that. Just a little bit information. No IRL stuff, though. It's fine.
Okay. So, gamertag is Gingy all the way. I've had that for, I think, just about as long as I've been playing most stuff online. 26, be 27 this year in August. Coming up soon, unfortunately. But, just something that came along the way with it, so.
Okay, so Gingy all the way, is that like, are you a ginger and just kind of playing on something like that, or is it like jingle all the way, or like kind of what inspired that? What inspired that for you?
Alright, so the jingle all the way is funny because everybody sees it the first time and thinks it's that, either just from pure glancing at it or what it is, but Gingy all the way, I am a redhead in every single facet of the word that can be. Get, sunburnt from the moon and all that good stuff. So.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I thought it was Jingle. I thought it was Jingle all the way my first time too.
It's just one of those, like, being a redhead, you kind of get talked to a lot by people that make jokes and whatnot. So what better irony than saying, Gingy/gingers all the way, yada yada yada.
Okay. Nice, creative, like it. All right, and so here's another one for you. What about Destiny got your attention? Did you start with D1 or did you start with D2, and just kind of what brought you to the community?
So, obviously, I started in D1. I mean, I started from the very beginning of D1 when it came out, and kind of purely based on the aspect that it came from Bungie, because I grew up on Halo, I grew up in all of those kind of games, playing through the campaigns, multiplayer, all of that, and seeing that the same company was coming out with a different kind of line, and it looked interesting just based on trailers and everything, and I said, you know what, sure, I'll try it out, see what it's about, and proceeded to dump about, the next probably total 2,000 hours of my life into the games across both of them, so...
Nice. I can definitely relate to that.
Casual.
With the, well, we're not going to throw numbers out there when it comes to Shady.
Maybe when I'm a guest. After I get fired as host.
But yes, I can definitely relate to that. I actually started much for the same reason. First-person shooters were definitely not my thing, but knowing that Bungie was coming out with something, because I was a big fan of Halo back in the day, It definitely was something that I wanted to check out. Personally, I started with the demo and got to the end of the demo and went out and bought it the next day. There was no stopping me from getting it. So I could definitely relate. Um, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and you told us what brought you into the community. What keeps you involved, or what keeps you in the game?
Mm, honestly, it's been a lot of pure gameplay aspect. The game has always felt really good playing it, and I mean the community is a big part. Obviously, Shady and Selena here, I've known them for years with it, you know, and playing and such. So it's a multi-fold aspect, but
The
it's
Prison of
just one of
Elders
those
gang.
pretty much. Yeah, it's just one of those games that I can get lost in for hours, just trying to get gear, trying to find new stuff, finding all the little secrets here and there. It's just, I wouldn't say it's mindless entertainment. It has some parts that are captivating, but it's just been one of those games that has always been a close home
Enjoyable
for me.
grind.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think of it as.
An enjoyable grind. Enjoyable grind. Okay, that's hey.
That
There's
should have been
nothing
the
wrong
title
with
of our
that at
podcast. Damn it.
all. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Um, let's see. So, you said you like to get loot, and kind of the grind and finding new things. So, would you say, if there was a possibility of having a weapon, either in D1 or D2, or if you maybe have a top from D1 and then a top from D2, that you would just like to see kind of in real life or have, whether it be a model or some, even a working version?
Um, I guess from D1, just because of how good it was, and everybody used it, it was just one of those weapons that everybody always sought out, had to have been Last Word from D1.
Okay.
I mean, the whole idea of how each weapon has its own manufacturer in the game, and it comes from different backgrounds of like either before the collapse or after, or how they went about it, but Tex Mechanica has always been one of my top ones. And Last Word in D1 was just unstoppable up until they pretty much nerfed it into the ground. But
I could see
mm,
that. And maybe in a way that I think they maybe even played that up a little bit more in D1 than they did in D2, where the
mhm.
different manufacturers
Hmm.
um, had different kind of intrinsic perks to their weapons. They carry it over a little. You know, you have Suros uh, sidearms that almost always fire in three bursts, or you have things like that. Or is that Omalon? I apologize. Selena, you are resident sidearm user.
Don't go to me, but I think the Suros, at least the ones that I'm thinking of, might be two burst. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But
Um,
two burst or three burst, I like them. Just don't give me those ones. Those singles. No.
and I guess from D2, as soon as they came out with it, and it dropped in whatever season it was in, but I definitely have picked a liking to it. How Selena has her Le Monarch. I really, really like the Trinity Ghoul bow.
Uh, okay, okay, okay. So we got
Yeah.
another bow user. So is now you say Trinity Ghoul, you say from the moment it drops. So you're saying pre-catalyst, because everybody kind of jumped on with the catalyst. So you're saying when it dropped pre-catalyst.
Yep, been using it even before the Catalyst. Catalyst just makes it all the better to me. I'm a longer range player for distance wise, and like to me, Trinity Ghoul just can hit that distance that I feel like a lot of other things can't with that same punch. Plus, you get the benefit of you get a kill with it, and it just sends out all the sparkly bits everywhere. So
Okay, okay.
I like that.
Sparkly bits everywhere.
Yes.
So,
That almost sounds dirty.
Everything's better when it's pretty.
okay,
Food
now,
tastes better.
with that weapon, how do you feel about the new bow? It's very similar, uh, but it adds a little new mechanic to it with the hip fire. How do you feel about that? The new solar bow that has the
First
three
of all, let's get the
three
pronunciation
bolts.
down. Who knows how to pronounce it? Is it Taiku? Tiku?
I'd
Tiku's
say
I call
divination.
Tiku.
Tiku. I say
Yeah, I say
Tiku?
Tiku.
Tiku as well.
Okay. That bow's amazing. More on that later.
It
It's Gingy's turn.
it it as itself as a weapon is fascinating with that aspect you mentioned with the hip fire. It bows I feel like have gotten a little bit less love than they deserve in the game having been introduced, but for what it does, it hits super
Amen.
hard.
Hmm.
But I feel like if some folks were to main that and claim to be a bowman of sorts, it's like you have to have the accuracy on the follow-up shot. But I mean, I think we've all shot it at this point. You've seen how much those things track. It does an almost full 180 in PvE if
Hmm.
you jump behind a wall with it.
Yeah, they can be nasty, finding you in little nooks and crannies. Um, and because we have two bow people here,
Three.
maybe we could. Oh, I
Four.
apologize. Three.
Four.
Oh, four. Oh,
Everybody
oh,
crawling out of the woodwork.
right. So I have a question. How do you feel about not having a legendary solar bow that hasn't been sunset?
Hmm.
Having
It
a
It's
legendary bow that hasn't been sunset?
a solar one. I apologize. A
Oh,
solar legendary
oh, I'm
bow
very,
that
I'm
has
very
not been
happy.
sunset.
I am a happy camper because although I
What
will
is has
preface, it's a
heaven?
raid.
What is it?
Yep.
Heaven? Mm,
I
what's
think
that raid
Hush
one?
was solar as well, right?
Yeah, but there's
But it
heaven.
got
God damn it!
sunset.
What is it?
Yeah.
Tyranny of
Yeah,
Heaven. Yep, that's what
Thank
I have.
you.
is
Tyranny
Yep.
of
that
Heaven is a
okay?
solar
So that's
and
so
legendary,
that's that's the only solar legendary that we have that
and
has
it's
not
not
been
bad. Is it a
sunset.
precision or is it a lightweight? I think it's a
I can
precision.
tell you here. It is a lightweight. Um, I think it's pretty good. But then again, we also only have, well, we do have two arc ones. Um,
They took away my Son of Calamity. Those
I know
oh
you
bastards.
God,
did
don't get
love
me
that.
started on myself.
I had I had almost
Heck it
Oh,
was.
I had almost
yes.
200,000 kills with that,
I didn't
and
have that
and
many,
they
but
took it away.
I had a heck of a lot.
No bow for
Yeah.
you.
Along with my
Uh
Null
oh.
Damn.
Calamity 9 rifle that we won't get into. Yeah.
There we go. Shady,
Okay, all right.
shady dropping
Stop,
numbers.
stop,
Shady
stop,
dropping
stop,
numbers
stop
on us.
hating. Okay, everybody stop hating. Let's get back on track.
And I think I got one more question for you, Gingy.
All right.
Um, you know, we've all played for a while, and for people who are just tuning in, Gingy disappeared for about a year on us. So, what made you kind of feel like you needed to leave the game, as long as it's not, too personal? And then what brought you back?
So the reason I kind of left out was, and it was at the same time frame that a lot of other companies and game franchises were jumping on board with the whole thing, and they still are to a degree right now, and it's kind of become, I guess, the norm for a lot of stuff. But it was the whole introduction of seasons passes and
Oh
just
shoot.
the overall grind to get your light level up was to me just becoming far too strenuous for the amount of enjoyment I was getting out of it.
Hmm.
Um, I would say it was like 50-50 across the board for both of those things. It started getting to the point where it's like I'm not getting anywhere. We can only do so much. And I've hit everything, and some new stuff isn't really coming out anytime soon. So it's one of those like I'm just gonna step away for a bit, see what happens, and I watched
A
videos
bit.
over the last like year and a half of stuff that was happening. It just never really piqued my interest. Um, and obviously, as y'all have seen, I've been back on for the last few days, getting back into it. The biggest thing that's bringing me back is, well, I won't lie. One weapon in specific was Dead Man's Tail because, obviously, like I said, Tex Mechanica, and um, it's the whole cross-play ability coming supposedly late fall this year, and I'm looking at getting a PC built here hopefully soon. And if that goes through and everything works well with it, I'm going to be hopefully playing cross-platform with y'all come that time on PC because I've been tainted by mouse and keyboard here over the last year, and that's just I have to get back to that kind of aim, and I still thoroughly enjoy this game, and if I want to play like that, I want to get what I feel is the most out of my abilities slash experience while doing it.
Okay. So with that, and I've done a little bit of research and looked into a couple of things, but with that, the crossplay uh, with PC and PlayStation or Xbox, that's going to limit what activities you can do with people, correct? Aren't they putting a block? You know, if you're on PC, you can't do Crucible. You can do PvE things, but not PvP. Is that correct?
I've heard that. The extent of it, I'm not positive of, and if it is that, I understand it, but at the same time, they have, like how most games are cross-platform, you have certain aspects, like people who play on PC. Obviously, they don't have like aim assist or anything like that. Their movement can be a bit better versus while how you're on controller, and I'm sure we've all seen it here. The aim assist is completely ridiculous. I mean, it's good in the same sense, like especially the longer range stuff and when you're going up against other players, but um, you have those certain aspects that people will still include in, like, you know, so if you had PC versus controller or console player in PvP, what PC players are losing, controllers are gaining, and vice versa. So it would make sense, but I think if they tweak some stuff and eventually brought it around, it would be an absolutely huge blast to be able to play against other, you know, console players or any other thing like that. So it's really a matter of how well the dev team does the things they're trying to do and what their expanse is trying to be on it. So
All right. Well, thank you very much for going through these questions with me. My segment is pretty much over, so I'll turn it back to Shady so he can kind of throw something in.
You got it.
And
First of all, this is happening. This is the second week in a row. One of our friends have joined our fire team and showed up and just started doing a bunch of emotes with us. That was Dim Dread. His name's going to come up later, and he's definitely a future guest and maybe a substitute host at some point. But I was happy that he just showed up. Well, speaking about bows, that Taiku is right up my alley. It's my favorite weapon ever right now. In a strike, it allows me to stay back and then put that stank on every enemy. I've been getting 2 to 3 more times assists than kills, and I'm just absolutely loving that. I'm getting like 30 kills and like 85 assists, which is amazing. I absolutely love it. But anyway, moving on. Next is our round table discussion. BC, I think you had a topic for us?
I actually did. So kind of talking about loot, something that everybody in this game is familiar with. How does everyone feel about the drop rates for gear and weapons? The new system, the way they're doing it. Some examples on drop rates that aren't necessarily so good. Uh, you know, the
Eyes of tomorrow.
the eyes of tomorrow. You know, something just pulled that out the air. I don't know. The hand cannon, what is it? The bottom dollar from Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
The what is it? The rocket launcher from Vanguard. Um, and
No,
yeah,
that's
no,
no,
that's
Cocobello
the
is fine. It's
I like my Cocobello.
Royal, maybe Royal Chase.
That's
That
no, that's a
that's
scout
the.
scout
rifle.
rifle.
Of course, now that I need to remember it, I'm
Now that we
drawing a
need to
complete
remember it,
utter blank.
Royal
yes.
Jelly.
Or even, you know, me personally, I have it gotten any of the new exotics.
Hmm.
Really, that come through activities like the Cloud
Legendary lost
Strike
sectors.
or the Legendary Lost Sectors with the armor and stuff. So, just kind
Oh,
of how do
yes.
people feel about that
I got I
and
got
this
two words for
system?
Ginge. I got two words for Ginge. Silicon aroma.
Yeah. All right. Don't. Okay. You
Aww.
didn't want a whole section that took up the podcast. Here we go. So, all right.
Didn't you leave right before they made that a guaranteed drop?
Yeah, probably.
An hour before.
Gosh. So, all right. So I haven't been back nearly as long, and y'all have seen probably more of this aspect than I have. But like, that was always both the upside and downside to me of Destiny was the drop weights were less than desirable, but it gave you that sort of, I guess, sigh of relief when you did get it. I mean, in some aspects, like, my RNG, I feel like, has been odd compared to other folks, because, like, I'd be with Selena in the past doing something, and she's, like, been talking about getting one thing or the other, and then all of a sudden we just do one random activity, and I get, like, an exotic drop of something I've been trying to get, or that she's been wanting, and I get it, or, yada. It's your
They do it on
RNG.
purpose.
Your RNG is always far better than the other person's and vice versa.
Hmm.
It I guess it's something that it comes with the territory. You know you're going to have to grind out for it more likely than not. It's just something that is going to happen one way or the other. And Shady mentioned Silicon Aroma. Back when that kind of was a weapon that was first shown from that strike, I can't even tell y'all how many times I think me and him, me and Selena, any of us ever ran through it together just trying for me to get that sniper. Just one time, never
Hmm.
happened. We probably ran that strike well over 100 times.
I got five.
Yeah. What is it? I've even run recently. I was, well, last season I was running the raid, and people were joking about Bungie's listening. Say you don't want it and you'll get it, and
Yeah.
somebody actually did that and got the Eyes of Tomorrow.
Uh,
I was like, I don't
That
want it. I don't want it.
that might have been me, because it was, I think, my third. I want to say it was my third run, and mind you, I'm still brand spanking new, had barely rated before the season, so I'm flabbergasted on what I'm doing. And they're like, "Did anybody get the rocket launcher?" And I'm like, "Hang on, haven't gotten my loot, and let me run over." And, yeah, and I
Nice.
got it, but it really
I'm
has been really
not mad
odd.
at
And
people
then,
when they get it. I'm just mad when I don't.
well, especially when it's when it's folks like you and some of the others that we know that they're sitting up there with 50 clears and they don't have it, and then you've got somebody like me who
Oh, I know.
wasn't even
Mish.
hunting, and it
Mish
drops.
freaking got his on like his second, third clear.
But don't
Maybe
you
his
think,
first.
Selena, though, like
Freaking no.
the RNG gods give out one weapon. There's three of you to choose from. So if it's not you, it's somebody else got it instead of you getting it. Then you should be
Well,
mad they
there's
got
like
it.
multiple. No, I'm still not mad if somebody else gets it. But there's like multiple runs where nobody gets it, like in a
Yep,
row.
that too.
Nobody gets it.
And
I
then
think
that royal entry for this season is, I saw an article online about how it wasn't dropping. I went, wait a minute, what are they talking about? And
Right.
it was really weird because I hadn't thought anything of it, but again, just it seems to be weird. On the other hand, I know people have bottom dollar, and I play a lot of Gambit, and I still don't have it. So, you know, RNG is just really odd in this game.
I had a problem last season with my RNG when it came to the raid. I couldn't get weapons. So, I mean, I'm not saying I have like 50 clears like Selena, but honestly, there were plenty of times where I was in the raid with people who are like, I just need one piece of armor, and I'd go through the raid and get a full set of armor or almost a full set of armor in one run. Like, that's all I would get. I wouldn't get weapons, but I would get, armor. I ran the raid one time. I ran it on two different characters in one night, back to back, and I think I got nothing but armor that whole night. On two separate characters, every drop was armor. What made it worse was my Titan. I left the raid with, I think, 3 or 4 Titan marks.
Mm,
the first time
yeah.
I ran it.
Ouch.
The first
Yeah, one
time
time I
I
got
ran
three
it on
boots
my
in one
Titan.
night. I was like,
Yeah, that
ugh.
sucks. Like, give me like duplicates, yes, but don't give me that many duplicates, please.
Yeah, 'cause you get like roughly at least four pieces of loot because you know, there's three chests and then the two hidden chests. So you're going to generally get, five plus pieces of loot. It's
Yeah,
like, seriously, you gave me five pieces of loot and three of them are identical.
yeah.
Hmm.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah,
I mean, if all three of them were a heritage or something with different roles, oh, that might be something.
might be.
That could be something. I mean, I might not be so mad about that. Like, or Succession,
Okay, well,
I
RNG is
So
a
what do
thing.
you? I was about to say. So
Hmm.
what do you say, Shady? Because you were the hour king, grinding out. You got plenty of time. How do you feel about your RNG?
I am blessed by God.
Yes, thank you.
I was baptized at birth in RNG, and the holy water is still on my face because I get thrown. I have to duck from all the exotics and weapons that the game wants to give me.
Mm,
It's
mm,
absolutely incredible. But
mm,
Ginge
mm.
has Ginge. What was that weapon that one forge gave us, and everybody got it when they did it with you? Was that the Jotun? Was it the Jotun?
Yes, it was the Jotun.
Every time anybody did that forge that gave you the Jotun with Gingy, they got it. Like first try. There was like five
It
of
ac-
us. He was a Sherpa. He was the Jotun Sherpa.
it actually became to the point too where we would have people go through with us, and they're like, "Man, I still don't have my Jotun." It's like, "Oh, you don't got? You'll get it on this one, trust me." And it almost always dropped
Yeah,
anytime we did it.
95% of the time it dropped.
Just
Nice.
calling your shots.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
going with confidence. Okay, moving on, guys. My favorite part of the podcast. This is the ladies takeover. I like this. Uh, we have Selena and VA, and we weren't sure who was going to go first, so we had a burping contest, and Selena just barely won. Just it was
Hmm.
close, but yeah,
That was
Selena's up with her segment. What's it called, Selena?
hot topics.
And what's today's topic?
Today's topic is, just in general, like it can be specifically relegated to gaming if you like. I know that there's some things that have changed due to the pandemic, which is my hot topic. Basically, like what's changed in your life, and now that we're getting back to a sense of quote unquote normalcy. Um, like what maybe something that like you're gonna miss. Maybe you had more gaming time. Maybe you I personally am a waitress, and I took unemployment for a few months because our restaurant shut down due to the pandemic. But yeah, so I was full time gaming hardcore, but it was boring at the same time because I couldn't leave my apartment. But now things are getting back to more normal. I personally am taking more hours back at the restaurant and making more money, which is a good thing. But I do kind of miss my gaming
Gotcha.
that I had going on. So, but yeah, and I personally cut my own hair 4 times during the pandemic. So,
Braver than I.
it's long, so you can't really tell where I messed it up. But yeah, I definitely messed it up at some point. So yeah, hot
BC,
topic.
BC, anything
Um,
changed in your
working from
world?
home. Working from home has probably been the biggest change for me. But it's been positive. Um, because I get to work from home. Um, when this actually started, it was around spring break for my son. Um, so instead of him having to go somewhere else, it's been a situation where I was able to uh, be home, even though I wasn't spending, you know, time with him. Uh, I kind of was. He kind of got to hear what dad did for work. Um, and that was really nice. Same thing with the summer. I got to be around him a lot more. So that's definitely beneficial. I'm not a morning person, but I work a day shift job, so not having to get up extra early for travel to deal with, rush hour traffic or anything like that, it's great. Also, because my building shut down because of it, the fact that I was able to do telework allowed me to work through most of it, which is definitely something that not everybody could do. As a side note, uh, thank you, Selena. Say that for everybody for being out there because I know it's been rough for you, and I'm
Hmm.
glad you guys are back and being safe and everything, and get to go out and you know start enjoying those outdoor things again. So
Yeah.
VA, what do you got?
Mine is probably, I'd also say it's the working from home, and gaming when I probably shouldn't have. Um, let's just say that there was a whole lot of Tuesday noon, prophecy, pit of heresy, and Ray checkpoints that I sat and carried over during Tuesday resets.
Just binges.
That, well, not even binges so much as, made sure to log on 10 minutes before reset, parked it, started it, carried it over and passed the love around amongst clan and friends list.
Oh,
That
nice.
I don't know as my office gears up. I'm hoping I can still have Tuesdays at home. Yeah.
I I
Um,
might have done that once or twice with Crown of Sorrows.
but that's probably that's probably the biggest thing. But I am looking forward to going back in the office some because my some ways has gone down. It's nice to have time with my son and run errands or medical appointments, but my apartment was never set up to be long-term working from home. I just don't have the space. I don't have um, the workspace or the privacy I need. So it's been kind of rough in that way. But I'm just glad I have a job. I've been, fortunate in that regard.
Nice.
And I'm an
Yeah.
essential
Right.
worker within my field. So um, that's good.
Gingy?
My last.
Now, Gingy?
So I don't know if I should necessarily consider it a good thing or have a very introspective look on my life and figure out what I can do different, but most of my life didn't change all too much when everything really started. Um, the place I work at was labeled an essential business, so we stayed open even through the 2 week shutdown. Well, I don't know, maybe about that part. It's this past year and a half's been weird. Um,
Mm.
but we were labeled essential workers. We stayed open. Obviously, nobody was coming out to do work or anything. And for those of you that don't know, I just change oil in cars, do a basic little mechanical work, stuff like that.
Don't downplay
Okay.
that. Without that, we all
I was gonna
can't
say,
drive
yeah.
anywhere.
Well, I say that in the sense of we are at one of those kind of chain speedy lube shops, not like a full fledged shop. I feel like that would be easier to say necessarily, but I appreciate that. I get the point of it. It. I spent a decent amount of time still at work, even though nobody showed up. The company did good. They gave us, they did our unemployment stuff for us, and we were still getting money for bills and all that. So I can't really complain in that aspect. But the daily routine became still very monotonous. But honestly, the only difference between now and what it was then is I wasn't working nearly as many hours. Um, But I mean, also I wasn't going out to see friends nearly as much, And I'm down here in the South. I'm sure y'all
Hmm.
seen it on the news enough. The South has had kind of a different approach to things, but that's a
To
bit.
put it kindly.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride to say the least. I mean, it's just more so the stress of not knowing what's really gonna happen. Being down here, it's where either everything's gonna open back up and it's gonna be fine, or due to that fact, everything's going to have to shut down again because something went horribly wrong, blah, 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 blah. But that's above my pay grade. I don't make those decisions. I'm just trying to
Mhm.
stay in my own lane and do what I can do to better myself in that aspect. So
Okay, before I go,
Nice.
I have a comment for Gingy. I am really not sure you're qualified to use that emote. Dude, I'm the
I was
king. I am
Oh,
So
the
now,
king of
hold
the
on.
Arc
Now I want to see
Striders.
the
push,
emote.
Thank you. Thank he
push.
switched. Okay, now I can
Mm-mm,
answer.
mm-mm,
My
mm-mm,
job didn't see. I know what the I know what the
mm-mm,
Twitter questions are, so we kind of like
mm.
answered half of the one anyway. My job didn't change. Just had to wear a mask. That's the only thing different I had to do. Wash my hands a lot and try not to get coughed on. But
Oh,
we'll,
there
Yeah.
you
we'll,
go.
we'll go into my
So,
profession. One of the Twitter questions is about what we do for a living. So I'm just foreshadowing right there. Ooh.
uh,
so,
Ooh.
so here's one for me. Here's
Okay.
one for you guys.
All right.
The people at my job, um, I have to talk to people. I run meetings and everything like that. And, sometimes when you get distracted, that kind of whole like rubbing your hands together thing,
Ooh,
just
yeah.
like, okay, let's get back to that. Yeah, no. So people have decided to start making fun of me, and there have been threats. If I ever find out where you live, I'm going to mail you lotion or cocoa butter because they can feel how dry my hands are.
Oh,
I was
yes.
like, but I
Mhm.
wash my hands so much, like even being home and not touching stuff. I still it's so ingrained in my head. It's like I wash my hands all the time and my skin just can't handle it. And yeah, so
Mhm.
there have been some coworkers that have said, we're gonna mail you cocoa butter and lotion because your hands is dry.
That's awesome. I have an etiquette question when it comes to COVID and colds in general. People say, okay, if you have to sneeze, you sneeze into your left elbow. If you have to cough, go into your right elbow. And then people, what do? They bump elbows instead of shaking hands.
My
Is
my
it?
19-year-old
Yeah.
actually asked me this. He goes, "Wait, you do the elbow bump, but that's to get you closer, and you've coughed into your
You're
elbow."
better off
So,
shaking hands because you cough into your elbow. I don't get it.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Moving on, we have VA's segment. This is her first segment, so everybody give her some support, give her some love.
so
Let's
we're
Yay,
have
gonna
it.
have
the
a
Let's
top.
crowd
have it.
goes wild.
Woo! So it's gonna be top five, and tonight's is going to be Destiny related, and your top five favorite weapons in Destiny 2.
oh Lord.
Wow.
Ooh.
I know we've got
There's like none to
13
choose from.
seasons. You know, we've got 13 seasons to choose from. Hopefully, not all
Well, the
yellow
first season
exotics.
doesn't count because every gun sucks so bad. Second season not much better.
I don't know. No, no, no. I happen to really like my Uriel's gift and my Martyr's Make. Thank you very much.
Nice. I had an
Ooh,
Uriel's
Uriel's
gift that I
gift.
really
I
liked
had
too.
one of
Yeah.
each. In fact, I had one
There
of each
was, yeah.
because there was the different elements. You couldn't choose your element, and I had one of Uriel's and one Martyr's in each of the elements because, well,
But
I love
it's
my auto
There
rifle.
you
perspective.
go.
It's perspective. If you had the choice, you had a choice to eat something, a block of mud or a worm, and you chose the worm, is it that much better than the mud? Yo-Yo's gift was the best weapon, but it was awful. I mean, it was just the least awful
Well, my
weapon.
current masterworked Uriel's gift will,
What?
hello and see you in the Crucible because
Hello.
You will never see me in the Crucible.
Well,
private match, buddy. We can both suck together. But no, I have an Uriel's that
That
I'm really
almost sounded
annoyed
like an
because
offer.
but I have an Uriel's that's going to be sunset. There was sunset last season, and I'm like, seriously, you didn't even bother putting in another arc, auto rifle to replace it? Thanks, Bungie.
well,
Um,
what was
not
the
even the
one that came
archetype.
out? What was the
This
one
new
that came
one,
out
yeah.
after that? The Kibu was pretty good too because I
I like
remember
the
I had my
Kaibu, yeah.
Uriel's
Kibu Kaibu.
Kaibu,
I
Kibu,
don't
Kibu,
know.
Kaibu,
whatever.
Kaibu,
Kibu.
Kibu. But yeah, that was a good one, but it also is sunset.
And Shadow Price
And
is
then
Arc, the new one.
Yeah, but the
Um,
Shadow Price is yeah.
Shadow Price is not a general drop, though. Isn't that one that you have to?
is that a Nightfall? Maybe?
It's either a nightfall or
Or a
it's a
Strike?
raid, strike or raid weapon, but it's not a general. It's not a general drop. It's not even like you run a normal playlist strike and you've got a chance of it dropping.
Yeah, I
It's
don't think it's a
specific.
normal playlist trick.
And then Arc Logic came out, and that was just a piece of poop. And also,
Oh,
it got
you didn't like
sunset.
Arc Logic? I like the high rate
I
of
never
fire,
got a
and it
good.
was
I never got a good roll, but it's also a sunset weapon. So
It is,
again,
yes. I
there
was
was like
upset about that.
3 decent weapons, and they were all sunset. If not, at Shadowkeep, they were sunset for sure at the start of the season,
Is it
and there is nothing replacing it.
is it wrong that I kind of want to try to guess like weapons for people? Like I want to guess Shady's weapons. I think I know Shady well enough to
Oh,
know
shush.
a
This
couple of
could be
well at
interesting.
least
My
his new
current, you want my
ones.
current loadout? Is what you
No,
want to guess?
no, hold on. Let me guess. So I want to guess your top five. So you wrote a story about it, so I'm gonna go with your ringing nail.
500,555 kills. Just
So
guessing.
so there we go, number dropping. Maybe this maybe
When
it'll
you have the
change.
numbers, you can drop them.
All right, so I'm gonna go ringing nail. Um, Now the newer weapons are a little bit harder because he's bouncing with them, but he did say he likes bows, so I'm gonna go with Tiku's
Two for
because he
two.
really said he likes that one. Um, I'm going to go with mm, a different archetype, a different archetype. I'm gonna go
I love
with
how this is all about me.
that just
I can't
ruined
wait to
it,
see
right?
what he chooses for me.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, I got to go quicker though if I'm guessing. So we got those two. Then I'm going to go with the what's the raid scout rifle, the trusty
Yeah, for DSC, yes, it's trusty.
trusty.
Three for three.
Um,
3 for 3.
things that have good. Now I'm going into what has good dragonfly perks and stuff like that. Like what's gonna be good for that? Um, oh, heavy weapons for ad clears and stuff. I think he likes light machine guns. Um, but I'm drawing a blank. I
Yeah,
can't.
we,
I
we got
don't
to
know what
keep
would
these.
be the
No,
best
no,
one.
no, no, not like
Yeah,
I prefer
this is taking too long.
I prefer the slower hitting
Yeah.
machine guns.
Maybe we should just stick to our own.
Yeah.
That works. That works. We'll stick to our
Dead
own.
Man
I
Walking,
tried.
or yeah, Dead Man Walking.
Ooh.
That's
Dead
Oh,
Man's Tale.
the new
Dead Man's
scout.
Tale.
Okay.
Yeah, the Remington 3030. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. But anybody hasn't gone? We're running late already. We still got 2 more segments.
Ooh, ouch. Sorry.
Well, my
No,
favorite,
late's
my
okay.
absolute favorite was probably the Null Calamity 9 Void Rifle. But that's because I'm a play Void Lock and my Nezarec Sin. It just goes with it. Gnawing Hunger's okay, but I miss my Calamity. Um, the Ringing Nail you mentioned from the Forge was good, as was the Spiteful Fang bow.
Nice, yeah.
I gotta say, I have a really soft spot for heavy with my truth, particularly invading in Gambit or
Mm.
just messing up invaders in Gambit. Um, wow. And Colony. I still love my Colony. That was my first exotic I got in this game.
Oh,
There's
shush.
there's there's a new ornament for it
For a
right
weapon.
now. Go see test for a
Oh,
new ornament for that.
ooh,
It actually
I
looks
have
pretty
to.
good. It looks okay. It's not great. It looks
And
pretty good.
what's another? There's a few of them, but I need a good scout. Oh, I missed my Patron of Lost Causes that got sunset
I
this
had a nice
season.
roll. Yeah. I
Yeah,
had a nice roll on
I
one
got
of
a good
those.
one on that and Breach Light for that matter off the sundial.
Yeah. I
But
like Breachlight fired all squishy fun, but it like hit like a truck. Like I like the way that it
and
fired.
it was
Like
peppy. That's
it
the thing
was.
too. It was a
Mhm.
peppy. It was a peppy one, along with the Perfect
Mhm.
Paradox. That whole season, honestly,
I'm
that
all
season
about my
was really
side
good.
arms, but yeah. All right, my top five real quick. Sorry, I'm just gonna interject.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Smuggler's Word. I missed that. That was Sunset. That was my go-to. Just everything near in PvP, just like ugh. La Monarch, still love that. Do love the Tiku's divination. I think that is definitely becoming a new favorite. Heavy, yeah, got my lovely little black talon on. Love my black talon. And previously, like, I haven't used it very often lately, but I still love it, and mostly because of the sound that it makes. It is the two-tailed fox. It makes a very
Nice.
adorable little chirping sound.
Oh, I don't think I've
And I
played it
love
since
my
it did that.
I love my
Nice.
ornament. Yes, when you fire it, it goes chirp chirp.
And
It's a
it's
terrible impression of it, but that's what it does.
and it's got that thudding sound too, like when you're loading it, it's like
It's so cute, and I love like
Yes.
when the two twin rockets like go like spiral when you get a nice like lock on and stuff, and it's nice. It's nice.
Has everyone gone?
Nice.
Because I really want to move on.
oh, Gingy didn't go.
Gingy!
I can do mine real quick. So, honestly, top one for both D1 and D2 is Jade Rabbit.
Nice.
Probably last word.
course.
I've got it's split between Beloved and Soul Survivor for my third, just because I've
So
always
you
been
have to have a
sniper guy.
sniper. You have to.
Trinity Ghoul and
Nice.
Dead Man's
Tail.
Tale, since that
Nice.
was the newest thing. So
Nice.
And
Okay,
I
well,
spent
Even though
my
you've had
time
it for less
trying
than
to
24 hours.
I spent my time trying to guess Shady, so ha.
okay, well, moving on. Selena mentioned Two-Tailed Fox. If anyone watching this doesn't know, I am the commissioner of the question of the day. And about a year or two ago, the question of the day was if you had to name your genitalia after a weapon in Destiny, what would it be? BC said Black Hammer. Mine was Thunderlord, and Selena said Two-Tailed Fox. Just to recap.
Yeah, meow.
The fact that you remember those.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the impressive part. More so than the answers. The impressive part is that you remembered our answers.
just to throw
You guys
my
are
hat in the ring,
important to me.
mine
Oh,
would
your
definitely be
genitalia.
Soul Survivor.
VA, you
Brings up
got
so
one? You
many
got one off the top of your
I
head?
was about to say, you want to get in on
A
this
weapon
VA?
like me? Oh my.
My ex-wife is Cold Heart.
Probably Calamity. Take your choice. No Calamity, which has been my dating life for the last decade, or Subtle Calamity, which, not much better.
If you're having a rough dating life, you gotta consider the common denominator there. That's you. So
Oh,
anyway,
Really, wow.
Drifter
Just
impression.
thanks for throwing single mothers
that's
under
that's
the
called
bus.
that's called the
Nope.
Taylor Swift syndrome.
Who all in this group has been divorced?
Shady.
Like, and how many times?
Once
DC.
once happily divorced.
DC.
Okay, moving on, guys. We're getting there. We're pushing. We're gonna get an hour this time, which I'm excited. A whole hour.
I talk too much.
Oh, not enough. Okay, we're up next is fake Twitter questions because our podcast does not have a Twitter account, so these questions are fake. But they're Twitter questions at one point.
Okay.
Every person who asks the question is a name I've gotten from Impractical Jokers. They have a segment where they are receptionists with a crowd of people they don't know, and they have to call out these names without laughing. Every time they laugh, they get a point. Whoever has the fewest points wins.
I love
So
that
these
show.
are names from Impractical Jokers. So our first question is, Crandus McBasketball asks, pineapple on your pizza? Yes or no?
No.
Definitely
No.
not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Now, see, I had a hard no when I first read the question. Then I thought, I like pineapple. I even like pineapple that comes out of the oven, like on a ham. So why wouldn't I like it on the pizza? So I got a soft yes. I went from a hard no to a soft yes. I'm willing to try it.
I'm gonna stay hard no. I've had Hawaiian
I've
style
tried,
pizza
yes.
and I just can't. It's no.
Well,
There you
I
go.
mean, I
Tried
haven't
it.
tried it.
No
I haven't
thanks.
tried it. So I mean, I can't shut it down without at least trying it.
Who threw a flag on the play?
That's totally valid. Okay, up next, Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico asks, favorite Peacock moment in Destiny?
Peacock.
Yeah,
Yeah, like peacock, like
somebody admired
peacocking.
your ship or your scooter or your armor or a gun you had, a roll. If somebody said, that's awesome, you look really cool or something. That's a peacock moment.
Every time I check out my own character, I look fucking amazing.
So you're giving yourself a peacock moment. You're self
Yes.
peacocking.
Every time I sit and just
You know,
look
There's
at
got to
my
be a word for that.
character, I just look at my character and I'm like,
Self-love.
girl, you look
That's the perfect emote for
amazing.
that. That is the
Yes.
It is.
perfect emote for
Gingy
that.
has a perfect one.
So God,
That's
so
good.
good.
Gingy?
Anytime I have made Selena yell in anguish due to something I either did to her or something that I got or just anything that causes her emotional distress makes me laugh to no end.
And in reverse, every time we screw up around Selena, she laughs to no end.
Yes.
Every time we drive our Sparrow into a wall or fall off the edge by accident, she's on the floor. My peacock moment is very real. This happened a couple years ago, probably in the early months of 2019. Selena's heard this before, maybe Gingy, but I don't know if BC has. I know VA hasn't. We were in orbit. There were 6 of us in orbit, and I had my Arcstrider emblem on, and our friend Criminal, who's supposed to like Seminole but with a C, Criminal had the same Arcstrider emblem on. And after a minute or two, he goes, Shady, I wear my Arcstrider emblem to show off my number of kills. I said, okay. He was at 143,000 kills, which is a lot for an Arcstrider. I was at 1.4 million. Literally 10 times more than him. And he's like, I'm feeling a little inadequate here. Like, you're all right. You're all right. Just keep at it.
Yeah, see,
Arcstrider, fist bump.
I can't wear emblems like that because I've said this plenty of times. You have more kills on a single weapon than I have as my full like warlock class, so that I just leave it alone. I'm done.
Okay, up
I'm
next,
done.
Shorty Waffles wants to know, what do we do for a living?
I have already said I am a waitress. So be nice to your your flirting
Wow.
Yeah,
servers.
already
You're
had
doing
one
so good.
F-bomb.
You
Your
you
flirting
Use one of our 2
servers, y'all.
allotments for the night.
you made it 52 minutes.
Flarkin servers, y'all. I said fucker for
No,
larkin.
you already dropped that word. You already dropped that word in the last in the
Yeah,
prior. You did.
yeah, she already dropped the F-bomb.
Poop.
Yeah, when we were talking about how we look good, and you were like, "I look effing good all the time." So yeah.
Poop.
Okay, VA, do you want to answer that, or Gingy, or
Um,
you did?
I
BC?
yeah, I can answer.
Okay, VA, go ahead.
I'm in the DC area, and I'll just say that I support the Navy.
That's valid.
I get it.
Well, I'm
I mean,
throw in.
the whole
I'm
area is
throw in
federal
there.
contractor, haven. So that's no biggie.
Right.
I'm a throw in there. Maybe a different branch, but I'm dealing with the government as well, and I'm a supervisor in. Well, I'm a technical lead. I won't say supervisor. I'm a technical lead in my part.
Okay. I work for a charity. I am the pantry manager at a local outreach center. Um, Last year, when COVID was at its height, I had 2,200 families go through my pantry, and I'm still alive. So there's that. Okay, up next, Colonel Indiana Longnuts asks, have you ever had a
Ooh.
real-world experience emotionally playing Destiny in a positive way? Rage quitting does not count, which is great for me because we'd be here for the rest of the night. Has anything you've done in Destiny invoked a positive emotion out of you? I mean, you got a weapon, and you went,
For
yeah!
self?
Go hell yeah!
Okay.
You got up, your fist pumping, and you're high-fiving yourself. Anybody have a success story? That's what we're looking for.
D1 or D2 or
Yep.
doesn't matter.
Yep. Could be Mario
Lighthouse
Kart.
D1.
Ooh.
Lighthouse and D1, and what made it that way is the build up. Like I played with the same two people, um, just over and over again, week after week, and we would grind and watching the progress where we couldn't, when we couldn't get past 3 wins, then we couldn't get past 5 wins, then we could, get up to 7, but we couldn't do it flawless, and then finally getting that lighthouse flawless in D1. It was I'd have to say that was really a big one for
Nice.
me.
Very good. Anybody else got something?
Um, I guess for me personally, D1 would be clearing King's Fall the first time.
Nice.
Mm.
That was, I mean, when that whole thing came out, that was just a massive undertaking that we all did trying to get through that raid, and we finally did it. D2 wasn't so much an event that's occurred, but it's something in game. It's the music from Deep Stone Crypt, especially when you're having to go through the long section of making the big jumps and everything. The
Mhm.
the Deep Stone Lullaby, I believe it's called. That I
Hmm.
heard that online for the first time, and I'm a big music guy, and that got me really good.
Is everyone gone but me?
I
Anybody else?
No, I haven't.
VA? VA? Go ahead, VA.
So D1, I think it was probably getting through my first raid, which I want to say was I want to say was Vault. Um, but it's just that this is my first person shooter, so it was like, wow, I actually have some competency in this genre. Um, and I got hooked, but the people I played with also did it too.
Very
You know.
nice. All right, mine's. I had a couple. I mean, when I got my Black Spindle in D1, I was I failed like 12 times, and then I finally got it, and I was like thrilled, just yes, let's go,
Hmm.
kind of thing. And like I left the fire team without saying goodbye, just so I can go try it out. Like, thanks for your help,
And
screw
we know who's
you.
not being invited back.
I was with a couple
Well,
of friends. That was great.
that was
But
one of the first timed kind of events, wasn't it? Because you had to
yeah,
go through
you
and
had
then
30
run
minutes.
back.
You had to kill all the ads and the boss. And it was my strategy that finally got it. I killed the boss by myself, and everybody else killed ads. So that was credit to me. But actually, my most emotional time is when I got my first 1 million kills as an Arc Strider. I'm not saying I cried, but the day before, when I was writing up the invitation for 7 of my friends to join me for the journey, I was tearing up writing the invitation the day before. It was just such a grind. When I decided to go
Mm.
for 1 million kills as an Arc Strider, it took me 6 months, 4 to 5 hours a day, grinding and farming to get there. And when I finally got there, it was so emotional. It's like the Olympic athlete that gets the gold after all their hard work
Mm.
for 4 years, and you cross the line first.
I
Ginge was
think it's
there. Ginge was on my fire team when I got it. Him
Yep.
and TDS plowed the road, and I killed that. What was that boss? I mean, you remember what Striker was? It was that little guy, that little. It was one of
Uh,
the. Uh, it, it was one of the Infinite Forest strikes.
oh,
But yeah, I went through the whole strike. Like I had 999,999. I didn't get one kill until I got to the boss. And then Gingy and TDS weakened the boss. I went in with my super and killed the boss and got my 1 millionth kill. That was
nice.
very, very emotional. It was just such a long uphill grind. It was like I finally reached the summit. Thank God.
Well,
Mm.
that was a result of you being challenged, wasn't it? You being a person and somebody said something to you about kills or something.
Yeah, what happened was I had like 110,000 kills on my Arc Strider, and I was in a party with 2 people I didn't know, or fire team, 2 people I didn't know, and they're like, "Hey guys, you want to go Crucible?" I'm like, "I don't Crucible." Like, Gambit? I don't Gambit. You want to do a raid? I don't raid. They go, "What do you do?" I go, "Look at my emblem." They go, "Is that 1 million?" Oh, 100,000. Okay, all right, not bad, not bad. I'm like, damn it, I wish it was 1 million. Shit. All right. Then I thought,
Damn it.
challenge accepted. I'm going to get 1 million kills on my Arc Strider. And again, 6 months, 4 or 5 hours a day, just farming kills on Mars, killing Hive and the Escalation Protocol, and I ended up getting it. So that's that. I didn't mean to monopolize this question, but anyway. Okay, we're almost done, but we're going over last week's stats. Last I knew, we had 71 views, which is 61 more than I thought we'd get. We have 3 likes, 3 thumbs up, and we have 1 comment. And it's from our friend Dimdred. He loved it when I screwed up. Twice. We were talking about something. I don't remember what it was, but I tried to say pigeonhole. Don't pigeonhole me to like Gambit, but I said pigeon.
I remember that.
I said pigeon a hole, which not what I wanted to say.
Or did you say pigeon my hole?
Then I tried to correct myself and I said pigeon my hole, which Dredd loved. That was a comment. Pigeon my hole, laughed my ass off. That was from Dredd. That was the only comment we had from last week's show. But I do want to tell Dredd he's gonna watch this. If my mistakes make you laugh, I'm gonna make you happy for the rest of your life because they're gonna happen all the time. Anybody got anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I just want to add on to that shout out.
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks for watching, Dredd. Greatly appreciated.
Anyone that leaves a comment is gonna get a shout out.
Yeah,
anyone.
So, thank you.
As long as you don't call us jerks and losers, just if you say something neutral or positive, you'll get a shout out next week. And if you have a question, it's going to be on next week's show. But if that's it, that's it. I would like to thank all my co-hosts. Where can we find everybody? BC?
So, I'm a slacker, and I haven't created a new YouTube yet.
You had a whole week. A whole week.
Well, we're gonna move to Discord as a platform. So I think what I'll do is once I set up my Discord, I will set up a YouTube that matches the Discord.
You get to be a slacker on Discord then. Okay, all right. I get it.
There we go.
Selena, where can we find you if you wanted to?
Oh, I do have a YouTube channel. I am currently streaming on the YouTube.
What's your YouTube channel name?
Kyle 1981. I don't know, man. Just Google Selena Kyle 1981 on YouTube. Just look it up.
Really dating yourself there, 1981. Just Google it, huh?
Right?
Yeah, she's dating herself. That's when she was born.
Facebook too.
1981 is when she was born. I was a sophomore.
I did that on purpose.
I was a sophomore in high school in 1981, and she's dating herself.
So you want to date yourself? Since you want to throw that out there for people that are viewing, happy belated birthday, Shady. I know I wished you happy birthday on your birthday.
I turned 55 yesterday.
Throw that in there. Happy birthday.
Thank
you. We got another 55 years with you, maybe.
Could you imagine that? That was a long time, and not quite that long.
All right, VA, where can we find you?
110 years.
So I'm working on getting my YouTube channel going. It is the same as my handle. It's VA Witch without the space on YouTube. But I'm also on Twitter and Discord and stuff as VA_Witch.
Do we want to come up with a YouTube channel that's like Destiny Podcast, Three Stooges, and a guest, so they can like just find us without?
I am trying to. I am technically challenged.
That's BC. Can you have TARDIS handle that? I mean, he's our RT guy, right?
I'll either do it or I'll delegate it to him.
I mean, if you want, if you want to name it just Three Stooges and a guest. That might be, we announce that at the end of every podcast. Maybe people can find that. I mean, people are welcome to check out my channel, which, if you want to find me, cleverly enough, I'm Shadyville35, and my YouTube channel is called Shadyville35. I don't make it hard to find me.
That's what she said.
That's almost funny. That gets a wah-wah. Wah-wah.
I'm just happy that the first "that's what she said" joke came from one of the sheepies. That's all it is.
It wasn't for me, because that's my go-to.
That's a win.
Before we leave, BC. Go ahead.
I assume that cherry had already been popped, like on this podcast during the first one.
Probably.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure by Shady.
BC is our interviewer and our show booker. Do you have any idea who's going to be our guest next week?
Ooh, well, considering he decided to jump in here, I'm
You're
thinking we
going
should
Dread.
go
You're
for
going
going
Dread.
for Dread.
You're going for Dread. Dreadman
Well,
walking.
this
The
week,
unspoken rule: if you drop in with us on the tower, guess
You're
what?
the
You've
next
been
week's guest.
nominated.
well, see, the only problem with that is because that was a great idea, and I was going to try to go with Envious, who dropped in on us last week, but we had already had a minor on, so I
Mm.
wanted we definitely agreed to spread
I
that
didn't
out.
want to get
Um,
pigeonholed having kids on every week.
but it might be interesting on that week. Um, since next week I'm thinking about going Dread, maybe the week after that, I might take a week off to kind of mirror something we did on our first week, which is have a father interview his son and see if
I'll
we
see
can
when
get
TDS does
TDS,
show up. All right, I get it.
see if we can get TDS and Envy
But
on at the
BC,
same time.
there's no reason we can't have two guests on.
Oh, see, there we go.
So you could stay, and TDS and Envious would be two guests at the same time.
We just bypass a couple, one of the other segments
Yeah,
instead.
we
And
just
keep
have to
the
lose a
time
couple of
down.
segments. No, maybe no Twitter questions that I make up. So that's not bad. But I would like to
Which
thank
maybe if we
everyone.
stream our next pre-production meeting, we may have to talk about time because we went over last week and we went
We're over
way
an
over
hour right
this
now.
week.
We're an hour and 5 minutes right now, which is twice as long as
Yeah.
last time. But I'm fine with that. If you're having fun, why stop having fun?
Well, because it could last all night.
Well,
All
Well,
enough said.
say
I'm not as young as I used to be, BC. I can't do that anymore.
I say most people don't complain when that happens, but
Okay, so everyone, thank you, BC, thank you, Selena, thank you, VA, thank you, Gingy, for coming in and being a great guest. You are definitely a candidate for a future guest. Not only that, but a guest host in the future. So keep your
Yes, sir.
calendar clean.
I genuinely don't have a lot going on, so I'll be here.
all right.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
So, guys, all right, I appreciate everyone. That was a good episode, and we'll do it again next week, next Monday at 7:30 production meeting. Next Monday at 8, we'll go live. Thanks a lot, guys.